you ever been inside a fully upgraded 2-bedroom apartment? Have you ever been inside a fully upgraded 2-bedroom apartment in the beautiful Port de la Mer? I'm going to assume no, and that is exactly where I'm taking you today. I'm going to show a clip of a standard 2-bed, and then we're going to go and investigate what this particular owner has done with their upgraded 2-bed. It's also fully furnished. I have seen some sneak peeks of photos, but this one is really, really special. So we are literally just pulling up now, and I will bring you along with me, and I'll also tell you a little bit about what they spent, what they originally bought it for, and what they're hoping to resell for. But you guys know I absolutely love Port de la Mer as a place and also as a long-term investment. So let's go and investigate together. Okay, so we are in the apartment. However, I'm just going to put in a couple clips of a standard 2-bed apartment in Port de la Mer, just so you can really see the difference. To be honest, I'm absolutely wowed by this apartment. I don't think I've walked into somewhere that has been upgraded in Port de la Mer that is anything like this. Like, this is really quite special. So have a look at what it was like before, and then I'm going to go through and give you a little tour. Pay attention to the details, because this is definitely someone's home for an end user, not necessarily for an investor. So here's the front door. Even just like the artwork, like this textured, they've also added a full-length mirror here, which is completely different. The details are just incredible, but this is what you kind of walk into. So obviously they fully redone the surfaces of all of this, and they've also put marble countertops on. They haven't necessarily changed the layout or anything like that, but the details of this backsplash and everything are just stunning. Obviously it's fully fitted out, so they've literally got everything. What you see is what you get with this. And then this is basically how it looks. Like, if you pan in and you walk in, this is kind of what you're seeing. Now, what I love about this is that they've added this like extra island, so it's like attached to the kitchen, because the space and the size is good for a 2-bed here in Dubai. Like, if you have a look at the full pan out of everything. However, I find some people find it difficult to know where to put the dining room table. This is so clever, because you also have like 2 little breakfast bars here, so if you have more than 4 of you for dinner, it still makes sense for it to be set out for 6 people. Details including things like the lights, like hanging, that is stunning. And then basically we move into the living room. Now, one thing I do love is the color coordination of everything. This also fits in really nicely with Port de la Mer, because obviously it's completely on the seaside, beach and waterfront, and even like the carpet that's textured, it all just ties in so nicely. Now, another thing that they've added is obviously, again, you've got mirror here, which just makes it feel so much more spacious and like a lot lighter. But they've also added in, this is attention to detail, these light strips in the ceiling, and also the funneling around here. This is not normally there. This is literally just usually standard lights. Obviously you've got the AC, but even those like lights around the outside, they really have done such an amazing job with this. So let's test out the sofa. Comfy, 10 out of 10. It's really nice. Honestly, the quality that has gone into this, somebody is very much going to appreciate. And also, if I flip it round, sorry if I'm going to make you dizzy in this video, but if I flip it round, this wood is also not normally there, and I think it also feels like it sets the room a little bit further back, which I think is quite rare, and it just kind of like elevates everything with the little countertop there. Anyways, let's keep having a look. Honestly, I'm so wowed by this. Like, this is really quite special. Just a note, they've added these lights. I don't know if you can actually see with my camera angle, but they've added the lights above. Usually they're just standard like this, but they've also added these like circular bulbs. So let's take a look. this is the second bathroom. Something that always catches my eye is a good shower, like the whole rainfall shower. Love the black, and also the colour coordination has also been brought into here as well. And they have also replaced this, which is beautiful. And obviously the colour, it matches the same as in the kitchen. The attention to detail here is pretty incredible. So this is the second bedroom, which is actually a pretty decent size. Obviously you've still got your built-in walk-in wardrobes like the old one, but again, they've swapped out the colour, they've kept the same artwork, and they've also added these beam lights, which is really nice. It gives it like a really, oh, look at these little details. Who doesn't love a good candle, even if you never light them? It just gives the room like a really warm feel, these lights. I haven't seen anyone else do that yet in Port de la Mer, so it really is quite special. I love, love, love. And also this desk is quite big for the room, but you could always like change that and swap that. I think it's one of those desks that like moves up and down, but I could be wrong. Anyways, into the master. Also take note that the colour of the doors have been painted. So these are usually slightly darker. But here we have the master. Walk-in wardrobe, and then bedroom to the right, bathroom to the left. So even just this, it gives it such a warm feel. And they've added this full mirror here. So when you're picking out your stuff and you're hanging it, it really is quite special. There's a lot of space, and you've also got drawers down the bottom there. Ow. Okay, into the bathroom. I love this. And do you know why I love it? Because people that buy in Port de la Mer, they're obviously buying majority location and beachfront. So what I love is that they've tied in the whole beach access, and they've kept like the theme going throughout. I think it's really, really special. And again, you've got the rainfall shower there. It's all been changed to black. Beautiful. Let's have a look at the bedroom. So this is the master. It is pretty much the same size, but obviously you have like the wardrobe and everything usually here. So again, they've gone in with the complete different backing on the wall, which I think just pushes it back and makes it feel really, really like a lot bigger than what they normally feel. And they've also added so much texture. Like the headboard is going all the way along the bed. Lovely mirror. You've got to have a plan, I think, somewhere in a home like this. Very, very special. I am quite literally speechless. We do have one more thing to check out, and that is the view. But just imagine waking up in the morning, the floor is to die for, and then you come in and you have your breakfast either at the breakfast bar or at the table, come and take a seat on your lovely nice sofa. Oh yeah, beautiful. Now I'm gonna cut because I need to figure out how to open the curtains, and you know, in Dubai, I feel like everyone always has really fancy curtains, so just bear with me 1 second. Okay, good job I didn't film that because I could not open the balcony door. Okay, first things first to notice. Details. I love this little plant section that we've got running along, and this is basically what the outside looks like. Now, I don't know if you can see, if I can zoom in, because there's no one on the balcony, I don't think, no. So in comparison to other people's balconies, obviously the majority of them are just completely standard. They've put some things on the outside, but for an end user, something like this, someone is really going to want to sit here and take a look at the pretty view. So you do actually have a snippet of the marina in there, which obviously does make it a little bit more premium, because you can actually see like quite far into the distance. Today it's a little bit hazy actually. And then you also obviously have the pool to have a look at as well. But I mean, this is really, really nice. I'm about to be blinded. But for an end user, this is something really, really special. Obviously, I've been over the pool factors of Port de la Mer so many times, but it is one of the only low-rise apartments that have its own direct beach access and is completely waterfront, its own marina, cafe, shops, restaurants, the full works. And also in time, if you were to buy this property, for example, it's a long-term investment. Obviously, even if you're buying for end use, they're still investments because everything is an investment here in Dubai. But for this one in particular, this is really somewhere that you could live, and then you can resell it in 3 to 5 years time once the community is fully finished. But that is my tour. I hope you guys enjoyed it because I absolutely love this. I think it's something really quite special. If you want more details about this apartment specifically, drop me a message either on Instagram or on my WhatsApp, which is in the link in my bio of YouTube, or drop a comment. But I would love to know, how much do you guys think this property is on the market for?